Welcome back to another edition of the CEO's blog. John, we've got some great news down in the Riverina with the Leeton Breeders' Plate elevated to group status.
Yeah, and it's great news for all the state, and all those trainers and owners have 2-year-olds. Hard-working club at Leeton, led by Gary Punch, and where would he be without Joanne? But combining with Harness Racing New South Wales, we've got the money and we've taken it up to Group 3, $30,000. This is based on the initiative of the club, and the club have decided this year there'll be no nomination fee for the Breeders' Plate. That's the first time ever. So trainers, qualified horses, they make the heats in mid-January there, and they can be in for a Group 3 final. So it's great. It's great for everybody. Of course, we're always hearing about the track build in the Riverina, and there's only a couple more meetings to go at the old Wagga track, but this is good for Leeton.
Yeah, so plenty happening down south, and even further south in Victoria, we've got the final heats of the Inter-Dominion this Saturday night in Cranbourne.
Yeah, and New South Wales, our horses are holding their own. We'll have a very strong representation in the final. Of course, we've got to get through the last lot of heats, but Tiger Tari's still holding the fort. I spoke to Kevin Pizzuto this morning. Just wants a little bit better go in the barrier draws, and anything else he can have a better go at. But no, it's going well. And
also ranking really highly for New South Wales is Mark Dorrow. He ran a good race last night at Ballarat. He was pretty unlucky.
Unlucky, of course, held up a little bit, but it's about the series. Maxi Man, he's the special horse.
Yeah, he's like the wild card.
He's the wild card. He's a late entry, and it'd be great to see the owners there get something out of their endeavours. And the real surprise, I suppose it's not a surprise. I'll be chastised for this, but our Uncle Sam for Chris Frisbee and Anthony, he's going really well. The rest of the New South Wales horses will have to dig deep in this last round of heats to make it, but they'll be very competitive in the consolation if that's as far as they go. But on top, of course, is Cruz Bromack. We're claiming him as New South Wales. People might be critical of that, of course, but he's owned by a New South Wales person in Peter O'Shea, so good luck to him as well. What's really good coming out of this series is the performance of the 4-year-olds, and I'm talking there about Spankum and It's Pat's Delight. Both New Zealand breds, but I'm sure they'll be looking at the Chariots of Fire come Miracle Mile time.
Yeah, in February, which is just around the corner. Well, that's the paces, John. As for the trotters, Tough Monarch, he's flying the flag high for New South Wales and should get into the final. Yeah,
Ricky Olchin's doing really well with this horse. I think Ricky's got something up his sleeve there. He came home strongly last night, but the other star for New South Wales, and I think we're down to 2 in the trotters section, of course, is Rompers Monarchy. Mary's doing a wonderful job with this horse. Mary Rando, of course, your mother. Joe's there is helping out. He came up really good on the excellent coverage. I must say the excellent coverage by Sky Channel on last night of the second round from Ballarat really showcased how good harness racing is and what the Inter-Dominion's all about. So a great carnival, and we're looking forward to the last round of heats and, of course, the big grand final.
Yeah, most definitely. While we're on the topic of the Inter-Dominion, John, let's talk about this lovely trophy in front of us.
It's the 2014 Inter-Dominion final trophy, won by Bow Tide that day, but I must say I've had a lot to do with Inter-Dominions over many, many years. I won't say how many, but the most stressful Inter-Dominion ever, but the most successful Inter-Dominion in my opinion. We had a terrible accident with the track only 2 days before where a new material was supplied, and it was the wrong type of material, but to his credit, we were fortunate that we had Dan Kuhn here in Australia for that event, and he did something that's never ever been done before or since. He took the whole top off the track. The first couple of races in the rain, the drivers came out looking as if they'd been in the Indigenous Series. We had brilliant sunshine for the grand final, and then at the end of the day it rained again, and it was back to a really poor surface. But no, Inter-Dominions, there's so many of them, as we know. They're fantastic stories, every single one of them, and perhaps we can get some of our people to send us a note tell us about their best Inter-Dominion, and we might put it up on the blog leading into the grand final.
I've got a few questions for you, John. Number one, Dan Kuhn, is he sponsoring this segment because he gets a lot of mentions?
Well, no, not really, but he's the best in the world. I even heard he'll be doing a track in Queensland at Yatala very shortly, so that'll be something to look at.
All right, we'll look forward to that. And how come you've got this trophy?
It was presented to me as being part of the Inter-Dominion for so long, so I hold it dearly.
Yeah, okay. Very good. All right, John, well, as part of this whole Inter-Dominion package, there is a conference Harness Racing Australia is putting on December 14. It's only $30 to go, and it looks like a good day ahead.
Oh, it's a great program. Any industry participant that has the time, that doesn't make the time, well, that's disappointing. A good roll up already, but if you're in Melbourne and you can make it, certainly go online and sign up. But what's really special about this, Amanda, is for only $5 more, it's $30 to go to the conference, but for only $5 more, you can join the cocktail party that I believe goes from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the Friday night. So that's real value. So I encourage everybody, go along. It's a great program. I can't say that too much. Andrew Kelly, Michael Taranto and the executive of Harness Racing Australia put together something that people should enjoy.
Well, Jody Jamieson, he'll be there. He'll be talking about reinventing the harness racing industry, so it'll be interesting to hear his perspective on that. They're talking about industry development, breeding trends, improvement strategies. There's also a youth aspect of the conference as well, so plenty to look forward to there.
Yeah, it's got everything, and it was great to see Jody drive a winner the other night, so hopefully he'll drive more winners, and he'll be in either the Trotters Grand Final or the Pacers Grand Final of the tab Inter-Dominion.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, John, let's talk about the retirement of Les Mellowship. I don't know who he is, unfortunately, but you do.
Well, in all three racing codes work with the New South Wales Office of Racing. Les Mellowship's been there for longer than I've known the racing industry, to tell you the truth. He's retiring. He's a great guy, always been a great servant to the thoroughbreds, the greyhounds or the harness, and we wish him all the best from Harness Racing New South Wales in his future endeavours. So Les, you've been a good guy all along, and you'll be a good guy for evermore, I'd say.
Yeah, most definitely. And also, John, we have to mention the passing of Keith Ambrose. Yeah,
Skeeter Ambrose, life member of the West Wyalong Harness Racing Club. He was inducted, I think, 3 years ago. 50 years involvement with harness racing in the area as a supervisor, a trial supervisor, a show supervisor. To Skeeter's family and his friends and associates, our condolences. But another really strong contributor to this sport that unfortunately time has caught up with him and he's passed. But well done, Skeeter, and everyone else that was associated with him.
Okay, John. All right, so do you have a tip for this Saturday night out in the Inter-Dominion heats?
Well, I'm not allowed to tip.
Yeah.
They barred me from tipping because they were so poor. And you took that role on Racing Radio. So anybody that
it's a
wants...
funny story, that one.
Yes, anyone that wants all the tips... And the extra tips we're doing during the week. I spoke to Andrew Bensley, and he said you're going very well and wants you to do a little bit more. Of course, I said you will be. So the workload's just improved.
Very good. Anything for Andrew. All right, John, we'll catch up again next week.
We certainly will, and we'll be looking forward to a great round of Inter-Dominion heats on Saturday night and a really great final the following week.